We should be in the game. I know it's a black screen right now. It should pop up. There it is. Welcome, guys, to our first round of the main stage of the All-Star League. And I am ready for 7 weeks of continuous Age of Empires 2 action. It's going to be glorious, and there's going to be some amazing, amazing matches. But our first match of the day and of the tournament is going to be BacT versus TaToH in a 3-game series. And joining me here is going to be Momano for the first 2 sets of games today.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on. This time, I'm not going to say hello for each introduction. Some people have said to me, you say hello every time. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm terrible with intros. So my goal today will be just to be at least more varied as possible, my introductions. But yeah, 7 weeks. Oh my God. This is going to be insane. So we got, of course, the first matchup, TaToH versus BacT, or BacT. The usual conundrum we're going to have is, how do we call him? But someone from the chat today was like, oh, it's streamer versus streamer. And I can't wait to see who comes out on top.
Well, I think actually most players in the league are now also streaming as well. So I think we're going to have a few streamer versus streamer matchups. But yeah, going into this one, obviously, BacT has played quite a bit of the expansions now, since he's played in most of the Escape gaming tournaments that we've hosted so far, giving him some experience with the new civilizations and the expansions that come with HD. However, TaToH is well known to be, the most versatile kind of player, the player who's great at adapting to all different kinds of situations. He's probably the most experienced with the new civs as well. And that's going to be interesting when it comes to game 2 and 3, when we're going to get hidden civ picks. But right now, we've got a Goths war, as first match is going to be mirror civs, and it's going to be on Valley, which is our first map right here. Maybe you could talk a little bit more about the maps. Just quickly as well, TaToH is in the blue here, and BacT is in the red.
Yeah, so Valley, well, Valley's in the name, really, isn't it? So in the middle of the map, you're just going to have a lot of hunt with a few pockets of shorefish. And this is what I really love about this map, is not only is it fairly open, as we can see in this game, it's fairly open, except for TaToH. Oh my God, we'll get to that in a second. But it's fairly openish map. But the main thing about it is just this middle bit. There's so many deer. Like, if you can capitalize on this bit, you get such value out of it. So I'm really looking to see what they're going to do in this game in terms of this middle ground, because the last time we did a Valley, we didn't really see an awful lot of it. Together we saw, what was it, Leary just destroying
fire.
Fire, yeah, that game, 9 minutes.
9 minutes, I know, fastest game yet, I think. Maybe apart from the one where BacT killed his king in a regicide, but we won't talk about that.
No. Oh boy, yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So apart from that, the rest of the map's pretty standard as far as I'm aware. The golds are looking pretty, except for, actually, is there a real main gold? I can't see for BacT. Where's BacT's main gold? It seems to be pretty even on the tiles. It's like, what, 5, 6?
5 on the south, and then 5 on the north as well. But I think that's just this map.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the map,
you don't get a 6 main gold. It's just 5 and 5.
Well,
and then
that's rigged.
Well, then you get but then your third gold is a 4, and then there's the extra golds also look like 4s as well, whereas normally they're usually 3s. But in this case, yeah, it's a fairly open front to the map. And as you said about the deer, we can see BacT already going towards the center to build a mill out there and start taking those deer straight away, making, definitely rushing that. That's what I wanted to say. But let's talk about TaToH's map. You're saying how it actually isn't that open at all, especially towards that north side.
Yeah, it's a lot of woodland cover, so it's great for him just to able to wall up this section in general. If it was BacT, I would imagine he's already starting to wall it already, but TaToH seems to be okay. He's going to put some nice sort of like barracks and a couple of houses on the front, just like an artificial wall. He's not intentionally going out to create it. It's one of those sort of things like, oh, I built the house, let's build the barracks next to it, and so on. So I like it from TaToH. He doesn't have to spend all his time just walling up everything. He'll get to it, but he knows that he's got time on his hands, and he expects what's going to happen is going to be a drush as well, because this map is kind of, to a degree, built for drushing, especially with Goths. So, yeah, he's got the barracks coming up, and BacT is same here as well. And what I love from BacT is the fact that he's gone for the mill forward. it's a bit of a risky play because your mill's forward, your villagers are a little bit exposed, but he's already put the barracks down right next to it, which is great because he can get those military units out and protect the villagers if he needs to. But on top of that, if he wants to go a bit more aggressive, he's already got the platform for it. He's got some villagers in the vicinity. He's got a military building down. And the villagers aren't idling either because they're taking the hunt. Although I am a little bit surprised he's not taking the shorefish with a couple of villagers. He's got one. But you know how amazing they are at taking shorefish. So I would have gone for the shorefish first. But that's just me. So... well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mill position. It's between two deer patches, and I was just looking at BacT's base, and it doesn't actually look like he has got a deer patch close to his base at all. So that's why he came forward, I think, as well, certainly influencing his decision. Whereas you can see TaToH actually does have a deer patch close to his base, and he's building a mill on that to the north side of his base, which is really exposed actually because this wood line is kind of blocking the villagers from getting back to the TC safely. But TaToH's moving out with the militia right now, and I imagine BacT's probably just going to play this defensively just to protect the villagers gathering this food. And in the meantime, if you compare, TaToH's already built a mill on his berries, and he's built a mill at the back on the deer as well, whereas BacT is making do with just a single mill right now, saving himself quite a bit of wood as well. So by the time he gets up to the feudal age, you're going to see he's going to have quite a big advantage in the amount of wood he's got, which is going to allow him to immediately put down an archery range or a stable. And if we look at how many villages he has in gold right now, it looks like he's actually going to go for man-at-arms first as well.
Yeah, I expected from both players to go man-at-arms straight away. Again, Goths, just Goths, and of course the hunt, and then 2 in the gold. I expect this entirely to happen. But you're absolutely spot on about the mill thing. I did see it myself, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, the 100 wood, and especially for something that's only going to give him 4 deer, and then he's got to either build another mill if he wants to, or go and make farms, which either case isn't the most ideal in comparison. But you can see here from BacT, though, he's having to move away. He's a little bit shaken away by those militia. He's going to have to go and build another mill, I imagine. And that's actually if he goes towards... Ooh. Okay, he's going to go somewhere else. Okay, that's fine. But we'll see what TaToH does with these 4 man-at-arms.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think BacT saw them. I mean, he's sending his own man-at-arms out across the map right now. Obviously, he did move his villagers down, so I'm assuming he did see them. And he builds an archery range back at home. So both players getting aggressive onto each other. The question is who will be able to do the most damage? Who will find any villager picks or something along those lines? BacT's coming in towards the berries of TaToH, whilst TaToH's looping around towards the gold there of BacT. But... yeah, I think BacT's going to be the first to strike by the looks of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so BacT just built another mill. He's going to take the shorefish, or I think that's like the instant sort of villager. Like, oh, must gather something. Okay, I'm not too sure about TaToH here because BacT should be able to wall. Oh god, please wall this up. Okay, he sees it. Oh, I was about to say, please don't contradict myself. He's going to find those 2 bills though.
That could be bad. The man-at-arms blocking the way for the villagers to get back. That one has been singled out. She's probably going to go down, actually. I don't think there's any way she can get back to the TC. And what's interesting here is TaToH seems pretty committed to these man-at-arms. He's got 3 man-at-arms at home as well as his scout. So TaToH's up onto, 4 plus 3 man-at-arms right now. Maybe he's actually on 8. He's added even more. So I'm loving this from TaToH, bringing out all the man-at-arms to the party. And, I mean, I'm personally a big fan of the man-at-arms style play. You can see BacT clearly making a very quick switch into the 2 archery ranges here, but BacT already losing a villager, and TaToH defending quite well at home as well. TaToH's coming in now as well towards those berries. We've got a 3rd mill coming up for BacT, and I think we're going to see... oh! What on earth? I thought we would see a villager getting trapped. Surely TaToH can get in there and trap some villagers, but nope. He's going to have to get away. TC arrow fire causing some trouble.
That's good recovery there, I guess, for BacT. He managed to keep those bills alive, did a little bit of damage onto the man-at-arms. TaToH has to rethink the plan. He's like, well, okay. Now this is a bit of a problem for him in terms of the fact that BacT's got 2 ranges up. The wood is fairly safe. The gold has been untouched. So production-wise, going to be unaffected. And again, oh, but look at that man-at-arm, though, on BacT's mill. He's found it. He's found the rogues.
Yeah, those
Hello.
villagers have to fight right now, and well, it actually looks like BacT will bring over a man-at-arms as well. I think he'll keep all of his villagers alive here, to be honest, but he's going to have to bring those weak ones back home, otherwise they are a little bit of a liability out in the middle of the map. Could easily be picked off later on by a couple of archers, or maybe even some more man-at-arms from TaToH. I think TaToH's made about 10 man-at-arms so far, which is quite the commitment. And meanwhile, you've got BacT sending, as you said, those villagers out to gold to the north. And since TaToH's army's in the south, he's not really doing anything to stop that. So BacT is able to very easily switch into archers, which, as we know, do counter the man-at-arms quite effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, skirmisher man-at-arms combinations really nice here. If you can, of course, it all come down to the micro though, in terms of how effective TaToH can be. He's making, as you said, a massive investment in this man-at-arms. It's a big food cost, and you can see he's starting to get those farms down already. But is he missing the horse collar? Because 175 food on that farm, I think he's missing that, and that's huge because that food loss is pretty massive. And the fact that he's been on deer and everything else, I'm a little bit, and of course those cows given an extra 50 food, I'm a little bit surprised in the fact that he didn't, especially going for 10 man-at-arms as well. You would have probably thought that you need to get a bit more food investment in the farms themselves, and especially the fact that you don't have to make any farms earlier on, you would save the wood and food itself to get that horse collar. So it's a bit of an economic loss there for him.
Well, I mean, right now, I think he's just really invested in the man-at-arms, and maybe his food was a little bit low before. I mean, he can afford it now, but right at this point, he is pushing BacT quite hard, and these men-at-arms actually taking quite a bit of a beating and still staying alive, acting as a little bit of a meat shield in here. The skirms on the hill doing some damage as well, and TaToH right now looking okay, but suddenly the archers come into effect, and those men-at-arms will all just get cut down. Hard to say who traded who traded the best in that fight. I'd say that BacT probably came out on top, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say BacT came on top. It was really well played by BacT. He got a couple of those archers who were being focused on by the skirmishers and just sent them like a ring of rosies. So a lot of TaToH's army wasn't focusing where it needed to be. And then that just allowed BacT's archers, the rest of them anyway, to focus on what they needed to do. So that was really well played by BacT. He's even going to put a tower up. He's really understanding that part of this game in general, how important this middle ground is, and that tower is going to help secure not only the deer, but again this platform and what he's built himself on to be. So smart play by BacT. I do like it. You just got to make sure he gets the value out of it. Otherwise, then it's kind of like, well, he just wasted 125 stone, and that will leave his base a little bit unprotected. But he is building a mining camp on that stone, so good forward thinking from BacT. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this tower in general. I mean, it feels a little unnecessary. If he maintains the military advantage, then he shouldn't, in theory, need a tower. And in the words of Dogao, towers are a waste. But TaToH here, as you can see, only just adding his second archery range right now. So BacT, remember, has been on 2 archery ranges since he hit the feudal age, basically. And as a result, BacT right now is sitting on 13 ranged units, while TaToH is sitting on 8. And BacT is going to be able to match the production of TaToH as well. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. Finding a pick on that left-hand side, and BacT should now be able to keep the map control in his favor. If he comes to the north, he would find 4 villagers gathering the deer, and that's a risky play from TaToH. These guys are toast if BacT finds him in that northern area, but at the moment BacT sort of pressuring this front side, and at the moment the upgrades are even as well, +1/+1. TaToH with more skirms, and we'll see how this engagement goes. If TaToH plays this well, he should come out on top, I think, but gonna have to go back.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit caught out there, and then in terms of, I think, not really looking, and then he was like, oh, I don't think I want to be here anymore. Look at that man-at-arm though, so much damage. Like, the skirmishers just don't mean anything to them. That was really nice. But now this also allows BacT to go a bit more aggressive with these towers, and there we go, another one popping just right by those archery ranges. And he's just going to probably, I think, do you think he's overextending here with these archers? Because he's going to lose a lot of them. Yeah. I'm not too sure that tower is going to get up in time, and if it does, what's it really doing? What's the achievement out of this tower if he can't get it up, or if he can get it up?
Well, I mean, the problem right there for BacT is he committed all of his army so he could get the tower up, and then he's fighting mass skirms with archers, and we know that's not going to end well for BacT at all. I think the tower, the objective is maybe so that he can come forward with another tower. At the very least, it's going to do chip damage against these units when they're created. But I think TaToH, with the defender's advantage, making the counter units here, you know, should be able to clean up most of these archers. But the big problem, I think, is that BacT is still adding men-at-arms. You know, these men-at-arms, they're going to take, what, 24 shots? Wait, no, more than 24 shots. Wait, how many? Yeah, no, sorry. They're going to take 23 shots even from each skirmisher. And that's causing a lot of tankiness in BacT's army, which his archers can kind of fire from behind and do the damage.
You're absolutely right. And he hasn't even got the +1 armor if he's going to go for that sort of route. And that is even more tanky. But there's a shift in strategy right now. So, as you said, BacT's got a bit more aggressive. He's pumping more men-at-arms in. Towers coming down, trying to put the pressure. TaToH's looking to click up. He's got 666 food. The gold is there. He's looking okay, in all honesty, because where can BacT go on from here? Because TaToH's got that one part already covered, that tower by his TC. The rest is all house wall. There's a bit of palisade to the south, but if you can see, if he breaks in, there's another section for TaToH to wall. So I think TaToH's pretty well covered. So it's looking pretty good, I think, for TaToH. Just got to hold on for a little bit longer, wait for that cartilage to come in, and then I think he can fight back pretty well. So yeah, looking good, I think, for TaToH. I think he's playing smart.
I actually agree with that as well. I mean, as you said before, these towers aren't achieving that much. TaToH's just garrisoning inside of the ranges so that his units aren't taking any damage from the tower. And sure, this is going to be a nuisance, but it's not really achieving a huge amount for BacT. Okay, we'll cover the gold there, but TaToH has gold in the back. TaToH's also got a lot of stone, and in fact, he's mining a hell of a lot of stone right here. And I'm assuming he's going to go for a castle once he hits the castle age. And given how many farms he's got up right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Huskarls coming straight out. Obviously, a natural counter to these archers that BacT is already creating. So, yeah, I mean, I do feel pretty good about TaToH, and TaToH clearly feels pretty good about his position as well, because he's actually counter-attacking with these skirms right now. BacT, on the other hand, still hasn't clicked up to castle yet, and I think it's that, you know, the investment into more men-at-arms which has slowed him down here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's about to click up any second now, but if we compare, TaToH is, what, halfway up by now? Yeah, just gone past the halfway mark, 60% up. And this is the other thing I haven't really touched on as well. That castle that clearly TaToH's going for, he's got a really good set of options here. You could try and place it defensively if he thinks he's under a bit too much pressure. Or with those 4 villas up at the top, he could go for a very bold play and put it right slap bang on the outside of that golden stone. There is a tower coming up from BacT, but I don't think that's in a good enough position if there was going to be a castle drop. So this is really interesting. He's got some versatility in what his plan can be. I think he's going to play it defensively, though, because he doesn't want to risk it. So let's see what he does, though.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. I think he could put it defensively near this gold on the left side, and then he'll be able to push these 2 towers down. But interestingly, look at this. TaToH's first or second range is actually going to go down to the 3 men-at-arms and these archers. The thing is, though, TaToH knows all he has to do is just bide his time. He just has to wait until he can get that castle up, and then he's going to have no problem cleaning up this army and you know, pushing BacT away. I like the idea of, like you said, with the 4 villages at the north, maybe putting a castle down on this gold. But I don't think TaToH actually has any scouting info of that. And if you look at his fog of war, he actually does not. So he's probably not going to think to do that.
Ooh, but he will now, though. The skirmishers that are coming to Rome, we'll see a tower. Oh, we want more tower. Okay, he does see the village. There we go. That elite skirmisher actually gave him the vision from that extra range just to see that gold tile.
Nice.
Oh, that's crazy. That's nice.
And actually, elite skirm and +2 for TaToH suddenly means that these skirmishers are a threat to villagers now, enough that BacT is actually having to run them away. If he hadn't had those upgrades, I think BacT probably would have fought with his villagers there underneath the tower. Because, you know, this unupgraded skirms, definitely a force that can't be... Sorry, unupgraded skirms can be killed by villagers. Let me just try and rephrase that there. It's first game of the day. I mean, I'm not going to be able to talk for a couple of games yet, and then I'll get into the flow of things. But the TaToH castle is coming up, and it is coming up on that gold, so it will push away both of those towers there. Of course, BacT is going to have vision of that. He'll know the castle's on the way up, sorry, because of his towers are there. And he's going to know, okay, well, obviously there's going to be some Huskarls headed my way. We'll see what BacT's reaction to that is. If we look at BacT's base, he's actually making knights right now, and I think that's pretty smart, because if he's anticipating the Huskarls, plus the fact that there are some skirms roaming around, knights, I feel, are a very good choice to work together with his crossbows here.
Yeah, it's a strong combination to work with, that's for sure. The knights, of course, high HP. The damage is pretty good as well, just like a meat shield on top of that. The crossbows don't do much damage at all, of course, but anyway, again, skirmish is really easy to deal with. You're absolutely spot on. It's really nice. I think he needs a couple of upgrades, though, to make them really, truly effective.
Absolutely.
But if I was, it's a bit... Because if you do that, then you're kind of investing heavily to a degree into knights, and then it's not exactly like Goths are built for infantry, so they can pump out a few pikemen pretty easily on top of that. So
yeah, sure,
if TaToH wanted to. So I think BacT's playing it smart, though. He's not just going to carbon copy everything. He might try and go for Huskarls eventually. He's got the stone, but I think he's going to instead invest in TCs. Exactly what he's going to do in between that stone and the gold, and then maybe look to get that castle up later.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, I think for BacT right here, he doesn't feel the need to get a castle up that quickly. I mean, I feel like he maybe overcommitted a little bit to the towers. It did cost him a lot. He built like 5 towers in total, which is, you know, enough to basically afford a castle. So he could have had that castle already had he not gone for all those towers there, and maybe they were a little unnecessary. But right now he's building the 2nd and 3rd TC. TaToH's also got his 2nd TC and 3rd TC on the way, and the Huskarls are coming out. So TaToH's just waiting to get a good number of Huskarls together, and he should be able to grab these crossbows. And, you know, I'm really worried that BacT is just going to throw these crossbows away. He's going in way too deep inside of TaToH's base here, and he's going to get trapped.
Oh, yeah, that house there by TaToH up in the north, that sort of semi-built one. It's so close to finishing.
So close.
What an insult that is to the house. I mean, what the hell. But anyway, yeah, it's going to trap him in. I mean, but it's going to go away. I think that's really good smart by BacT there, because he's realized that he's a bit too deep and he's not going to get anything done. So he might as well try and save what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we've got a little fight on the front as TaToH sends the Huskarls forward. Now in these numbers, TaToH will actually get the upper hand on the knights. These knights are completely unupgraded, and you know the Goths have great knights in the Castle Age. They get bloodlines, they get +2/+2, making them, you know, on par with anybody else's except the Franks. So, well, even the Franks, my bad. And so, you know, right now I feel like BacT needs the upgrades on the knights, otherwise these Huskarls could become a pretty big threat. With 7 pierce armor, these TCs and the watchtowers are basically just going to tickle them with their arrows as they deflect off of their mighty shields.
Yeah, great raiders. Yeah, they definitely tickle, that's for sure. Oh boy. But so yeah, 3 TCs up for BacT, same for TaToH. We're gonna see a monastery now. That's actually also, we haven't touched on, monks are pretty good against Goths because they're quite slow units, not slowest in the world. Especially the fact that TaToH, I doubt he's got the squires as well. Doesn't look like he's got squires either. So they're actually a reasonable defense. So good from BacT. Might as well. Castle Age building, check. Essential relics, check.
Healing on the knights, check.
Healing on the knights as well, yeah, check.
Absolutely worth it.
It's a good checklist we got going on here, that's for sure.
I mean, okay, one thing I've got to say right now, though, is just looking at the ecos, yeah, TaToH has a lot more farms. I mean, just look, TaToH's eco just looks a lot more fleshed out. It looks like he's really geared up to just go ham on the production with those Huskarls here. And actually his Huskarls coming in the south getting trapped. This is a terrible position for infantry units to be. Oh no. They might be very defensive versus arrow fire, but if they can't get out, they will just get peppered with arrows and eventually they will die. I cannot believe TaToH made that move. That is so unfortunate for him.
He's probably just slapping himself on the forehead thinking, oh Christ.
What have I done?
Yeah, dying to crossbows, what an insult. Oh my goodness.
That should never happen, but it just goes to show how positioning can be so important. I mean, those Huskarls would have cleaned up that army of crossbows in the open any day of the week. But put them in a tiny corner and block them in with a couple of knights, and suddenly you've got an AoE fail on your hand.
Yeah,
And, gosh, I mean, that was terrible.
At least what he can do, he can type in the all chat as well and put space created. Space is safe. You're safe.
You've been playing too much Dota. Space created. Come on, get out of here.
I'm sorry. I hate to stop. But let's talk a bit about TaToH's plan. He's got two options here. He can go, as you said, full out Huskarls. He can, in the castle age, you could drop 3-4 more racks, let's say, get the Anarchy, whatever, and just slam them out and just start hitting him where it hurts. Because it's fairly doable. I mean, BacT's base is still fairly open. I don't see any other defensive in the castle just yet. So, and again, there's still crossbows on the field, for Christ's sake. So, I mean, it's still a good opportunity. So, I'm curious to see what TaToH does. I think he's going to play it safe, though, and look to try and go up to the Imperial Age. But I could be wrong. But, oh my God, look at BacT's gold.
Yeah, he's got like 1,400 or 1,600 gold in the bank. He's building a market right now to try and balance his eco out. I mean, that's sloppy, to be honest. At this level of play, you don't expect players to have that much imbalance in their eco. But I've got to say right now, what I'm thinking TaToH's going to do is, he's added this 4 TC. He's closed up his wall on the right side. He just wants to get that to that really late game sort of goth spammy death ball that you can achieve with Anarchy Perfusion. In fact, Anarchy's coming in right now, so he can make the Huskarls from the barracks. And I mean, the spam is going to get pretty real right here. One thing I've noticed as well is that he's had a mangonel on the right side of his, on his farm for a long time. He could have sent that forward and tried to get some of these crossbows with that, because at the moment it's not really achieving anything out there.
Yeah, it could be blocking the village. It's like, hey, I'm trying to look at the farm here. But look at this, yeah. The Huskarl spam has begun. He's actually going to go with the castle age strat, I think, he's looking like. Anyway, he's got the 3 racks. I think he needs another racks personally, but the tracking's just been done apparently, so good news for him. Plus, yeah, I think this is going to work, I hope. But here's that castle from BacT up the north, though. Oh, interesting. Ooh, is BacT up?
I think BacT will be up, yeah. He used the market to buy some food, I think, and he's going for that faster Imperial. So this is actually a window of opportunity now for TaToH to really step on the gas and punish BacT for investing a huge amount of resources into that Imperial Age upgrade. His economy on the south side is so open. I mean, look at this TC right here. It's just asking to be raided. And TaToH is definitely stepping on the gas with that Huskarl production. The 3 racks, the castle, pumping out the Huskarls, and he is on the way up to the Imperial Age as well. But this is a great opportunity for TaToH to just do some big damage right here.
Yeah, this is the prime time. This is go time for TaToH, that's for sure. Another TC trying to be built by BacT, but always going to run into the Huskarls. Say goodbye, my friends. Thank you. I mean, his wards might be safe for now, but don't say it for that long. But this is the thing, though. There's so much disruption going on for BacT right now. Yes, he's got the castle that's going to get 3 or 4 axes up. But will he actually have the economy to, A, get production going? I don't think so enough anyway. Or the upgrades.
Well, let's just compare the farmers right now. TaToH has 49 farmers, right? And 32 miners. Compare that to BacT. BacT has 22 farmers and 3 miners. His eco is in no shape. He just doesn't have the farms to get upgrades and production. And so, sure, he's going to hit the Imperial Age. And then what? He's got 132 food in the bank. At the moment, he's making some longswords, but without that much food income, he's just not going to be able to sustain unit production. And TaToH, with those 4 villagers that he had gathering the deer up in the north, he's come around the back of BacT's base, and now we've got 3 barracks up there, and we're going to see Huskarl spam from the rear as well. So BacT is going to get... Oh, it's a BacT sandwich here with Huskarl for bread at this rate, as BacT is just going to get outraided, I feel.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. I love it. He actually used those villages at the end from the north.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, he used them. And he's putting a castle down. We were right in our prediction. It's just maybe 42 minutes in, that's all. But no, this is brilliant. The 3 barracks, and that's great. That's got me going. You can't do anything about it. I mean, you could try and use the market from this gold and everything to try and float the economy and get, like, 2-handed swords and try and get some production. But look at these longswordsmen. It's just +1 armor. They're not going to do
Oh
anything.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, they've got 2 ants now, but I don't think they're going to do anything still.
No, I agree. I think it's just sheer numbers for TaToH is going to win the day. I mean, it doesn't matter if you've got a counter unit. If you're outnumbered 10 to 1, I mean, it means nothing at the end. So I feel like in this case, with TaToH's castle coming up at the back, he's going to deny some of that gold from BacT as well. And I mean, TaToH right now can just sort of bide his time a little bit, maybe get +4 on the, yeah, +4 on the attack, and also go for the elite Huskarl upgrade, but I don't think he can actually afford that right now. He's actually got some trebs coming out as well, so looks like he's going to try and treb down that castle first, but, well, never mind. It's GG.
GG. That was so well played by TaToH towards the end. I think he was absolutely correct to go for that castle age push. And BacT, it's really unfortunate for him because I can see where he was going with it by going up to Imperial, but that's so risky. Especially all you've got out at that point was just crossbows. If you had Huskarls, then yeah, you should be fine because you would have the infrastructure in place. Where BacT had to transition into the 3, 4 racks, 5 racks, castle, everything, and that took too much time, and he was too exposed. Boom.
Yeah. Well, I liked the way TaToH played that a lot, and I think actually probably the biggest problem for BacT is that he didn't really have any wall off anywhere on his map. If you compare his map to TaToH's, and I'd like to show you guys on the stream, but my game has crashed. So TaToH, if you look at the minimap at least, you can see he's actually got a bit of a wall off to the north. It might only be houses. And also at the south, he's got that wall off with houses as well. It's enough to at least give him a heads up if BacT is heading around that way. But what actually was the problem for BacT on the other side of the map is TaToH was able to sneak 4 villages around the back and actually build a castle behind BacT's base. That lack of vision is terrible if you're in the late game. You know, by the time you reach Imperial, you want to have good vision. You want to be able to prevent raids coming in, because raids is what really hurts your economy and grinds you to a halt. So TaToH there did play a really good game, and he's going to get the win in game number 1. We're going to come back out right here and get our second game loaded up on the stream. Here we are with our second game. There it is. And we have BacT versus TaToH for our first series, our 3-game series. This is BacT's home map. It's going to be Arabia. And we have BacT over to the east of the map playing in the red. He is playing as the Mayans, going for the classic pick. And on the west side of the map, in the blue, we've got TaToH going for the less orthodox pick of the Indians here. Once again, I've got Milmano with me. What do you think about these civs?
Well, Mayans, classic pick. I mean, nothing. BacT, Mayans, Arabia. That's definitely unsurprising. But no, if you're down 1 game, every game counts, of course. So he wants to make sure he's got a nice home comfort pick, and I do not blame him at all. It's something that I would do personally. Absolutely. Indians, though. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that one to come out of the bag.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to rack it through my head, and okay, so villagers are really cheap. Well, become cheaper as they go along, so that's great. Elephant archers are awesome. So we're clearly going to see elephant archers all around, right?
Obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, elephant archers.
Unless you can't tell, guys, British people are probably the most sarcastic people on the planet. So just
definitely.
Heads up.
Yeah, definitely sarcastic. Oh my god, I am really struggling here a little bit. I guess the Imperial camels are also really good, but Mayans, don't have any knights, so it's going to be interesting if he ever goes for that. I'm struggling here. I mean, there are also a gunpowder civilization, but okay, I think he just probably picked it maybe because he was going to expect a Huns pick, but I don't really see BacT playing Huns much, so I'm a little bit surprised from this pick from TaToH. I'm really interested to see what he's going to do, though.
Well, I think,
really interested.
In my opinion, I think the Indians are an excellent civ. They had one of the highest win rates of all of the new civs in the previous events that we've hosted. Now,
really?
I want to remind people, this is hidden pick. So TaToH didn't know what BacT was going to choose. And I think the Mayans are probably a very solid civilization against the Indians anyway. But, if he'd have gone for the Huns, for example, then I think the Indians would have performed better. Even perhaps the Aztecs, they would have done pretty well as well. But regardless, the Indians are a very strong counter civ. Like, whatever you create, the Indians have an answer. Not only that, but their villages are cheaper as you go as well. So, I mean, the Indians, you know, with the camels, they counter the knights really well. With the, you know, they can throw out the skirms, they can throw out the pikes, whatever. They've got all the counters up their sleeves. And then at the late game, they have a really powerful army comp with the gunpowder, the hand cannons with the +1 range, and the bombard cannons. And normally they'd support that with the camels. Obviously, the big problem here is they don't get the knights, and that could be an issue. I would expect in the Castle Age, we're going to see either crossbows from him. It's got to be surely crossbows, maybe some mangonels as well, because in this case, from the Mayans, you're fully expecting to see the crossbow coming out. But I don't know. I mean, maybe BacT has got something else up his sleeve as well here. But one thing I've noticed straight away, BacT stealing away 2 sheep from TaToH here, and sending his Eagle Scout out quite quickly to get a scope of TaToH's side of the map.
Yeah, this is classics, like what you see from Aztec and Mayans in 1v1. From whenever I watch like those sort of games, from anyone having that civ, that scouting, of course, is you have a bigger radius, I believe, than you do from normal scouts, and a little bit quicker. So being able to pick up, it's 2 sheep. I'm surprised it didn't go for the boar though. You didn't see the boar.
Yeah, I mean, the boar does do more damage to the Eagle Scout in this. I think it's +8 or +7 to the Scout. So you got to be a little careful with that. And I don't know, maybe BacT is considering doing a drush here. He's got 4 villagers on the wood, and you know he wants to keep his Scout on full health if he's going to be going for a drush in this case. So TaToH's going to be down 2 sheep. But let's take a quick look at their maps before any drushing action comes in, because I do see the barracks coming up for BacT right now. BacT's map. What a map, really. He's basically already walled, and he's only built a couple of palisades and a couple of houses out here on the left-hand side. He's got gold in the back, he's got his berries safe behind, and if he builds his barracks out here and a couple more houses across the front, this is super defendable. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see BacT go for a drush-fast castle in this one.
Yeah, it's really nice in that degree, of just being so easy to wall. And again, Mayans having a bit cheaper walls, not like massive, but you know, it's still pretty nice to have if he's going to put something down. There is a small concern I do have with this map though, and that is his stone.
Yeah,
the stone on the left is you can access it, but it's exposed. The one is very far out.
Oh, it's out here. Yeah.
That's his main stone. That's very far out. He's got his main gold really nice and secure. That's a big plus. That's not a worry at all. But the other golds, you know, a bit further out, one of them, and the other one is to the south. They're not that much of a concern, because when it gets to the later game, I expect BacT to have castles everywhere, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I think this is the thing.
Early game.
I think this is the thing for the Mayans. Stone is really important because they want to get 3-4 castles so they can make the plumed archers. It's a staple of their military in the late game. But right now, that's not really on the radar, because if he can get to the Castle Age, get some early crossbows out and take the map control, then he's going to have no problem accessing that stone later on anyway. Right now, though, I think, you know, with TaToH being the Indians, I almost expect TaToH to be playing a more defensive style game here as well. And if we take a look at TaToH's map, you know, his gold's quite hard to defend on that hill up to the north side. You know, he's going to have to do quite a bit of walling across the front to secure this. It's a little bit more open, but it's certainly not impossible to wall up and defend with.
Yeah, it's just a bit more awkward to wall rather than anything else. You can wall it. It's just, in comparison, when you look at BacT's map, you just think, oh man, wish I had that one. That'd be a much easier job to work with.
Someone in the chat said BacT's map was made in the scenario editor. Could be.
Yeah, could be. You probably just thought, I'll load up this scripted file. SMB, where are you? Oh, man. Okay, right, so Drush coming in from BacT. From BacT.
On the wood line.
On the wood line. There he is.
And he's going to get a villager. He's going to get one. She's going to go down. And there's no way she's getting back to the TC. Surely the Eagle will do the trick. No way!
Oh.
Miscalculated, BacT. You should never do math while playing. No, you should. You should do your maths while playing the game, because then he would have realized he would have needed one more hit, and that villager with 1 HP will manage to escape. She's on 2 HP now thanks to the healing properties of the TC. But TaToH building a stable right now. Obviously, the 3 militia in the back going to loop round towards the berries, and TaToH's getting the scouts out. TaToH can't really counterattack because those scouts are going to be up against a bunch of palisade wall, but they can be used to at least defend from the drush for now.
Yeah, so it's nice. We should have to take care of this. I don't expect to see any villagers being lost here. I say that now. Oh, come on, finish it off.
Wait, go on. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he's okay.
Oh God! Whenever I see that, I say, I think, God, why did I just say that? Honestly, okay, that villager's dead now.
Yeah, it's fairly painful to watch that actually from TaToH there, but okay.
It's unfortunate because the way that it was all positioned out, the villagers kind of bugged themselves out a little bit by just standing still because they don't auto attack either. So one done, that's it. They're like, okay, what's next?
Job done.
Job done, guys. We've done it.
Yeah. So I think what TaToH has to be careful of here is not to over-invest into the scouts. He's made 3 so far. He's just lost his main scout over at the TC of BacT here, and at the back of his own base, he's going to have it to juke it out with the Eagle Scout. The Eagle Scout's going to come out on top, getting 2 kills back here. And TaToH now should be able to clean that up. But he's seen that BacT is fully walled. And he's also seen that BacT has built 2 archery ranges in a super defensive position. But BacT actually stepping up production onto archers. And it's not going to be the drush fast castle that we thought it would be. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. Look at this. Look at this wall from BacT as well, at the north of his base. He's built this wall off to his tree line. Just a little bit more scouting, and he's going to realize just how redundant that walling is. But yeah, I feel like right now BacT might actually. I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be better to do the drush fast castle, but he's got 4 archers. He's going to move out, and we'll see what he can do with that. So we've already got the archery range from TaToH coming up. TaToH just moving out to wall. I imagine we're going to see skirms coming out for him for the time being.
Yeah, I expect that to see it from him. He's probably thought to himself, okay, well, he's balled up, so what's the point of doing scouts now? So that's obviously now he's going to do the skirmishes. He's going to finish up the walls up on the top in the north. This is really interesting from BacT, though, to go into archers. I don't think anyone expected this to happen, really. I guess he's trying to assert some more map control and more dominance in this part of the game, and then looking when he gets to that castle age to have, again, a bit more security. But even then, though, I think even with the Drush FC, he's got plenty of space to if he wanted to build TCs and stuff or whatever. So I'm a little bit surprised. But let's see how it pays out. I'm a bit skeptical though, because I don't think it will.
Well, at this rate, TaToH's going to have the much faster castle time. His villagers cost less, so he's not spending as much food on them. He's got, archery range up and making some skirms, but he's got a lot more farms than BacT right now. And so BacT's going to have to do some damage here. He's going to try and find a villager, but those skirms are going to push him away. And I just feel like BacT, it was such a great opportunity to drush FC, get crossbows out, and start pressuring the map from the castle age. But now it's going to be slower to the castle age than TaToH, and TaToH's going to be clicking up relatively quickly here as he starts sending his first villager out to gold. And I think he can defend this with just 1 range and a few skirms, to be honest. BacT does have +1 now, though.
Yeah, +1. It's a bit of a nice upgrade, but is it going to be significant enough? I think in this part of the game, probably not. Just because again, TaToH is fully walled up with houses, so they're a bit stronger, which is great. And the 1-range defense, I think, is perfectly fine at this point. I don't see a need for him to drop a 2nd range. He can save that food and look to click up. Yeah, relatively shortly. He's on the gold now. I reckon he'll be up in the next minute or 2.
Yeah, Wheelbarrow's just coming in. And, I mean, TaToH's just going to basically abuse this choke point where BacT cannot push through because he comes into the TC fire if he does. And I think BacT has kind of thrown away an opportunity there. But still, I mean, he's seeded a bunch of farms now. He's going to be castle not too far behind. Behind TaToH, that is. And I guess on the plus side, when he does reach the castle age, he will have a lot of archers already pre-existing on the map. So we'll have a lot of units to upgrade once he does get there. But the question is, what will TaToH do once he reaches the castle age? And the big problem for the Indians is, like I say, the lack of knights. He can't just kind of start spamming knights out and raid BacT's economy. He can transition into crossbows, though, and that's something that we could see him do if he adds the 2nd range. And he is actually just adding the 2nd range right now. So that's certainly what we're going to see here.
Yeah, also I think elite skirmishes will be a nice option, just generally speaking. Just a bit of mix of both, just in case BacT might decide to put a couple of Eagle Warriors in, which is known to happen, but I doubt it. But just you got it there anyway, so why not? So I reckon it'll be elite skirmishers with a few crossbows lined up in there as well. I think TaToH, I said earlier in the game, I think TaToH's just going to play it safe, just get the economy up and rolling. There's no real need at this point, I think, for him to put a lot of pressure because it's quite difficult still. So I think he's just going to play out to that late game, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he... Well, I mean, we've got to look at his map for this one. I think TaToH's got to push out in the Castle Age because his gold isn't that easy to secure. I don't think he can get a TC on that main gold where it's positioned. His second gold also in a bad position to get a TC out. And his third gold is way out in front. So I feel like TaToH has to get more map control in the Castle Age. But right now, massing up skirms, clearly to counter the crossbow that he's anticipating from BacT. And at the moment... Yeah, okay, he's just switching into archers now. I think he was just saving the gold so he could get to castle, right? BacT should also be up to castle as well. He is a little bit behind TaToH, and right now population count basically even for both players as well.
Yeah, that's better than I expected, actually, the uptime. I honestly thought he'll be up a bit later, but I don't know. That's still pretty good for BacT. He's definitely still definitely within it, that's for sure, in terms of touching distance to TaToH's uptime. So what I mean by that is not much is lost in comparison. He's not going to be immediately under pressure and be like, oh, crap. People, oh, that's okay. It's fine.
I mean, I'm just trying to think where TaToH is going to build his second and third TC out here. He might put one at the back towards that stone, but I mean, it's not an amazing map to build up on. Whereas if you look at BacT, he can easily put a TC between the gold and the wood line, for example. He could come out to the left side and put one out near that stone. Whatever he decides to do, I think he's got a better map for it. But TaToH's going to push forward now, knowing that Castle Age is just around the corner, setting those skirms forward. And he could get quite a few archers for free right now if BacT doesn't get them out of the way. TaToH getting castle, laying into the archers a little bit. And if I'm TaToH right now, I'm going to do elite skirmisher straight away. I'm going to get bodkin arrow straight away. And elite skirmisher has been reduced in price in the expansions as well, making it even more viable.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, getting both straight in there. But can he do much pressure with it though? He can try and harass some villagers, but as you said, BacT is such a great map. He's actually going to put a TC on that gold for BacT, right where the woodline is. That's great. It's expected. Even dropping a siege workshop, I think that's fairly reasonable. Again, it's great against the elite skirmishers. And again, as you both said, knights aren't really going to be a factor as such just yet. So I expect that to happen. Well, you can't even get knights, can you?
No, Indians don't have knights, so...
No, it's only camels, yeah. So even more so, it's great. That's what I mean. It's great.
The Siege Workshop, I mean, basically, it means he can defend with one mangonel, and then he can counterattack with the crossbows if he wants to go down that route. And I think he's going to bring his archers together now and maybe set up for a counterattack. The one mangonel should be more than enough to send those skirms away. Meanwhile, TaToH... He's staying on one T. Oh, no, he's not. He's going up to 2 TCs, sorry. But he has added to the university. So I'm guessing he's doing ballistics right now, or he's just finishing up ballistics. Or he will do it either way. And this is interesting because something you can do with the Indians is right now the Indians' villages only cost 40 food instead of 50. So he can do 2 TCs and also pump out units from 2-3 military production buildings at the same time because it's so much cheaper. So interesting that he's got the university first. He's actually adding a third TC there on the left side now. Yeah,
I kind of expect that TC to be plopped around there. I was thinking a bit more to the left, but this makes a lot more sense because it covers the other wood line as well. So good thinking there from TaToH. He's actually harassing those crossbows on the other side. Nothing much going to happen there. Just going to be a bit of a walk around, that's for sure. But there's a TC for BacT up in the north, right by that stone.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to cover the stone. That's great to a degree. It's not. I personally would have preferred it to be on the other side of that stone.
I agree.
Because A, he can't get any far unless he wants to delete all those houses. And B, you can still get harassed on that stone, like the +2 range, just poke those villagers a bit at a time. And especially as the fact that he kind of knew where TaToH's army was, and he had a mangonel right there. It's a bit of a questionable move, but hey, if you want to be safe, go for it, I guess.
Yeah, he's not taking any risks with that TC, let's put it that way. Right now, BacT's going to defend with the one-man Mangonel, but problem for him, minimum range on both the scams and the Mangonel, but TaToH should be able to out-micro that, and with 50 shots from these scams, he will eventually take it down. Meanwhile, at the top, BacT right here, going to find himself falling foul to ballistics right now. It's just completed for TaToH, so as these crossbows are running away, these scams are hitting those shots, and that would not happen without ballistics here. So BacT's going to take a lot of additional damage now that ballistics is done. It's going to make it much harder for BacT to out micro TaToH. And meanwhile, we've got the camel coming in for TaToH as well. Why not?
Oh, just did you see that? It walked up. It's like, okay,
yeah,
coming in for the Mangonel, and then the TC I think fired like 3 shots.
It's like, nah, I'm out of there.
No, this is not a place I want to be. Interestingly though, he does have +1. Oh, because the Indians +1 extra armor.
Yes.
I was about to say before I say that. But that does absolutely nothing. You just see, look, it just got laid out. Oh my god, that poor camel.
That camel got wrecked. So, yeah, I mean, BacT right now able to defend very well. But, I mean, I feel like TaToH is ahead at this stage. BacT hasn't done any eco-raiding. TaToH has 3 TCs up and running, and his villagers are cheaper. So he's saving, right now, on 3 TCs apiece, TaToH is saving 30 food over BacT every 25 seconds. And that's is a lot of food that's going to rack up over the next few minutes and give TaToH probably quite an edge going up to the Imperial Age, I imagine. We'll have to wait and see on that. But at the moment, BacT looking to get that castle out. He's got a lot of villagers gathering this stone. Where do you think he's going to put the castle? I'm guessing it's going to be out on this left-hand side near the main stone, and also covering that gold as well. Basically where he's got his army positioned right now. TaToH coming in though.
The absolutely spot on. Yeah, he's gonna. It's a trap. Oh man, Admiral Akbar, my hero. Oh god, that's awful.
TaToH,
that's awful.
Please, this is not a fight you want to take any day of the week. 2 Mangonels. It's just not something you can really easily out-micro. TaToH's going to take a big loss, and BacT's going to push him away. And it looks like, yeah, that castle's going out there on that left side next to that stone. Most logical place for it at this stage of the game. TaToH's going to move out with a Mangonel, trying to probably snipe some of BacT. But if BacT sits on this hill and sits near to his castle, he should be fine, to be honest with you. But yeah, right now, I mean, as I say, TaToH should be ahead in economy, and indeed he will be hitting the Imperial Age upgrade in probably 1 more minute's time here, as he's nearly up to that 1k food. BacT, on the other hand, he's got a little way to go, but he's not so far behind. I mean, let's not forget the Mayans do have a fantastic economy, however you slice it, but TaToH's going to have the edge there, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he's
the
up.
economy's looking really nice. He's up. There we go. Up, and away. He goes. Oh man, I really got to stop these puns. This is terrible. But no, I expect probably. I'm expecting your chemistry to be done and bombard cannons or something like that to try and siege those siege the castles down.
Yeah, I think so.
Line it up with, of course, more skirmishers, and I think some hand cannoneers as well, just in case he goes for eagle warriors. That's what I'm trying to think in my head is what he's going to try and plan to do here.
Yeah, I mean the problem is, I think if BacT is allowed to get mass plumes, I don't think TaToH has that much in his arsenal to deal with it. Of course, he goes Skirm, but it's not ideal. And I think if TaToH's looking for maybe a timing edge here, a timing window, where BacT only has 1 castle, he doesn't quite have the techs, he doesn't quite have that many plumes out, and then try and maybe just take out this castle quickly and just deny BacT's ability to produce the mass plumes that he's probably looking to get here.
Yeah, TaToH just lost 2 Mangonels and got nothing out of it. One was to the castle fire, and then just good micro work from BacT, just spot on. But TaToH was trying to juke the shot, but walked into it, so that didn't work out too well. Bless him. But yeah, look at you, pumping out a lot of skirmishes right now. Here's another forward siege workshop. You can also do rams, I guess, but I think the bombard cannons are a bit more effective because you can try and target the plumes with them. So it depends. I think, do they get siege ram? I don't think they do they?
Well, the Indians.
My knowledge. Nah, they get cap ram.
Yeah,
I think bombard cannons work better here.
Yeah, absolutely. Bombard cannons can also take out some mangonels. BacT makes more. But interestingly, BacT adding a couple of barracks here. And I think if BacT actually goes towards Eagle Warrior, that is the wrong decision for him to make here. The Indians can counter Eagle Warriors very easily. The Indians cannot counter mass plumes very easily, in my opinion. Sure, they can make a lot of skirms, but it's quite easy to deal with skirmishers. I just think that maybe he'll go for a mix, but right now I think probably Mass Plumes is the better unit choice for BacT. Let's wait and see though, as he's not far from the Imperial Age himself. Meanwhile, on the right side, we've got a TC coming up that's being a little bit denied by these skirms. But TaToH, I mean, a common theme this game is TaToH throwing away units, it seems. Not really achieving anything with his army, just kind of sending them all around the map to just go and die for scouting info.
Yeah, scouting good first, but I'd say. It's good though, because now he knows that where BacT could put up a TC for that gold, so it's important to him. So now he knows where he can target if he wants to later on. But here's the thing about this Imperial Age. So TaToH's got to wait now for this chemistry to kick in before he can pump any hand cannons or even bombard cannons.
Yeah.
BacT can actually get the Eagle Warriors up and going by the time he hits Imperial. So it got this sort of point where it can all turn around, because BacT will have a very small window, I will say, to take out all those elite skirmishers and try and press on. But here's the other problem, though. BacT's, you're absolutely right, though. This isn't a game-winning move here to go elite Eagles.
No.
Especially the fact that you've got to get 2 sets of upgrades to get elite Eagles, because you've got the Eagle Warrior upgrade and then the elite Eagle. He's not mining any more stone. He's got, what, 5-6 villages on stone? And that other stone there still hasn't been mined just yet. So I'm a little bit concerned, because it's not going to take long for TaToH now to get it up and running, his hand cannoneers.
TaToH's just denied the TC on the right side from BacT, covering the gold, which is not ideal. BacT does need to secure his gold this game if he wants to go the Eagle route. Whereas when you go plumes, you're really focused on securing the stone. When you're going Eagles, you're focused on securing the gold. But yeah, I see what you're owing at. That house.
Oh, we've got... Oh, no. I'm not talking about the house. I'm talking about... No. Okay, well, we're seeing this. Well, I'll talk about what I'm about to say in a second. Oh.
I was talking about the skirms going into BacT base.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Oh, my God.
And that's a lot of potential damage right here. Obviously, the Eagles are on the way over. 8 pierce armor, going to disrupt that. But look how many farmers have been disrupted out of position here. And what were you owing at before?
This
You're looking at the ram rush?
It's the Duke of all Dukes. He's going to distract him and send all these rams in.
Nice.
But here's the problem, though. He's gone for the rams. I don't think he's got chemistry. Oh, there we go.
He's got the hand cannons.
Oh, thank Christ.
He's got them.
I was so worried because I didn't see it being researched. Oh, here we go. Can it work? Come on, buddy.
Yes.
You got this.
So on the right side, he's distracting with his small army out here, which is going to get cleaned up by the Eagles. Whilst on the front, he's sending the rams in. TaToH, though, with the hand cannons following up behind, the hand cannons will blast these Eagle Warriors to shreds. But whoa, BacT already has 100 HP on these guys. He's done all the upgrades, and actually, it looks like he might be able to clean up these rams here. It's hard to call. I don't think there's enough hand cannons in here just yet, and I think those rams might go down. But he's going to lose a lot of Eagles, and I'm really concerned that BacT is not going to have access to gold in this case.
Oh, that didn't work to plan.
Well,
if he had bombard cannons, though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Bombard cannons would be awesome.
Bombard cannons, yeah. He's actually got a castle. Interesting. TaToH's going to get a trebuchet out. Where's the bombard cannons? Oh my God! Please get them out. I'm getting cross.
Well, I think the problem here, as you said before, BacT does have a small window to do damage with these Eagles, but once TaToH's got even a small number of hand cannons out, the Eagles just suddenly are not effective anymore. These hand cannons do 27 damage to the Eagles in one shot, minus the 8 pierce armor. So, you know, they're hitting hard. 19 damage a shot. I don't want to be messing with that if I'm BacT, but of course the advantage that the Eagles have is the speed. Look at them go. They're so fast, and they can run circles around TaToH right now. TaToH's trying to build a castle up on this hill on the right side. The Eagles are going to deny it, and as soon as they run into the army of hand cannons, well, they're going to run away.
Yeah, they're just going to run away. I'm like, thank you very much. I'm going to run to your base now. It's caused a little bit of problem. But look at how much, look at TaToH sent the entire army to go and deal with this. He doesn't need to. He just needs to send a few of them, like a few hand cannons to take care of it. Oh, that's not what I kind of want to see, but yeah, I guess he wants to make sure they're secure. That's for sure. But it's the other problem. Like you said, they're so quick. You only need like 1 or 2 around. Look, there's one to the south, picking at those villagers trying to go for a gold mine.
Oh, yeah.
There's 1 or 2 at a stone. Oh, it's just great work by BacT, just delaying this game enough for him to get himself into a reasonable shape, because he probably needs to get those plumed arch production up and running pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be a little careful. I mean, obviously, he doesn't want to overcommit to the Eagles, I feel. Obviously, the hand cannons can do a lot of damage. But, I mean, if you're going to have any Eagle warriors, I think the Mayans probably have the best Eagle warriors to deal with hand cannons. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Just due to the extra health, that's all they need to deal with these guys. I'd rather have that over the damage of the Aztecs. I'd rather have that over the extra armor of the Incas. So these Eagles actually very formidable, and it's nice that BacT did prioritize getting the HP upgrade very quickly. And again, this army from TaToH is so slow. The Eagles are already in and doing the damage before TaToH even makes it into position.
There goes the Trebs as well. Oh my god, this is bad. This is bad upon bad. I can't say enough. And then there's 3 Rams, Trebuch, 2 Trebs coming back to take that castle. That's a goner. That's not going to stand up again.
Oh yeah, that's gone.
That's gone.
It's done. And right now, yeah, I think TaToH, he's losing access to gold as well. The gold on the north is actually, no one's gathering from that right now because he's had to wall it up. The gold on the front is being denied by the Eagles, and his main gold is still being mined from. But BacT right now might actually lose quite a lot of units in here fighting among the buildings. This is where the hand cannons are really strong. And TaToH's done heavy camel, which is something, I guess. But it's certainly not going to stand up too much to these Eagles, I feel.
Yeah, they're lacking a few upgrades. That's for the start of it. I really love that crossbow up the north, though, just standing there by the gold, stopping from mining it. But we haven't touched upon this. I did see it earlier. I've been trying to find a way when we can put this in. Check TaToH's monastery.
Has he got 5 relics? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
TaToH.
baby.
Oh, yeah.
He is rich.
Who needs gold when you've got 6 relics? Man.
Yeah, but it's really important to understand this stuff because of the fact that BacT's going for something that's very gold intensive. These Eagles aren't cheap on the gold front, and this is not a 2v2 or anything, so he can't trade either. Yet he's mined so he can extract more resources. But if TaToH can hold on long enough, they will come to a point where, especially BacT going so heavy into Eagles, you will struggle when it gets to that later game. Like I'm talking probably the 55 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
And TaToH will be flush. So he's got to be careful here. BacT's got to push, I would say, relatively quickly. Otherwise, as I said, he's in trouble.
He is going to push, though. I mean, he's got the siege rams done. They're going to clean out these military production buildings. And that actually leaves TaToH in a little bit of a bad position, because without the ranges, you can't actually produce the counter units to this army. You can see TaToH desperately trying to wall this up on the left side, but there's no stopping those rams. The Trebs deploying at the back as well. But TaToH's just trying to bide his time and get a decent army together before trying to push this one back. Now, the camels, they do have decent armor thanks to the Indians' bonus, but they're just not going to be good enough. However, with the hand cannons behind, the hand cannons could really be quite pivotal here for TaToH. Then again, you've also got the rams to contend with, and I think BacT might be able to push through here. It's going to be a close one. I don't know if he's going to run out of Eagles too quickly, though. Hard to call.
This is a tough fight. The camels are kind of important. Takes out the rams.
Yeah.
Bit of a meat shield. So he needs to get those camels in there to take them out, so the hand cannons can get to work. This is actually a decent fight coming in from TaToH, though. He can keep focusing what he needs to do.
Well,
this is a bit messy, though.
The rams. Okay. It's the rams. BacT's rams were absolutely pivotal in that fight, because those hand cannons and those skirms were fighting the rams and not the Eagles. And of course, once the heavy camels had gone, he couldn't kill the rams anymore, and BacT could just overwhelm that army. So, well played to BacT. He is going to secure game 2.
That's a really solid win from BacT.
That was solid, yeah.
That I was thinking when he was doing the Duke and then was pushing forward, I thought, okay, this is looking good for TaToH. This is looking, I'm not sure about the Cat Ram choice. think that's what let him down. If you had bombard cannons, especially even then, if you had bombard cannons, like, you could take out those rams from range, do some damage to the Eagle Warriors, take out the Trebs. Bombard cannons.
My question to Nilpford in the chat is: do you think rams and plumes would have worked better than rams and eagles? Because I guess with the plumes, it takes a little longer. You need the castles first, where with the eagles, you can just, straight up start pumping them out. And maybe that was one of the bigger factors here for BacT. The fact that he was able to raid very early in the Imperial Age, and the fact that he was able to pressure TaToH very, very early. But ultimately, yeah, I think the Rams were absolutely pivotal in that fight. And as we said before, if you're going to have any of the Meso civs for Eagle Warriors, or I shouldn't say Meso civs, the Mayans, Aztecs, or Incas, I think the Mayans would be the better choice for the Eagles out of the three. But yeah, that was a good game from BacT, and I think he probably had the edge with the civilization, to be honest with you, going into that one.
Yeah, it's tough because we were saying like, oh, the Eagle Warriors, God, what the hell is he thinking of? But
yeah.
I guess it's just surprising because when you think about it in your head, you're like, okay, well, hand cannon's great. That's that sword. I think we're still correct. I think personally that hand cannons are still great, really good. It's the best choice for TaToH. I think he was just lacking that. I know camels aren't good particularly in this occasion, but there's something, and he needed something like that to be frontlining. Do I dare say it? Would champions been quite good here for TaToH? Because he didn't have many castles to begin with. It's tough though, because you could argue so many back and forth points in this game, and I think that's the thing we can take from it, is that, especially in the chat, that people be saying, "Oh, everyone was wrong. People were wrong." I think it was just one of those games where it could have gone either way, and I think it was just down to the skill play from BacT more than anything else, in my opinion. And it was just fantastic.
I think a good point that Nilpford brought up in the chat actually was this castle from BacT. He only had one castle. And if TaToH had killed the castle before BacT had the HP upgrade, that could have been a different story altogether. And I think the way that TaToH needed to do that was to use a Treb instead of going for chemistry and bombards, but he didn't make bombards anyway, so which we sort of anticipated. But there you go. Well, let's take a quick look at the achievements here. We can see that BacT in the end killed 170 units, lost 126, and overall trading very well there. Economy-wise, BacT actually had the most gold, even though TaToH had the 6 relics, but that's just because BacT was mining from 4 different gold mines all at one time. Whereas TaToH had 6 relics, but he was only mining from 1 gold mine, so his gold was depleted much quicker. And you can see he actually got 1,800 relic gold from that. And I think if TaToH had actually gone to the super late game, where the gold's mined out of the map, that puts him in a super strong position. But, he didn't get to that point in the game. BacT shut it down before that could happen. And well played to BacT. And we're going to get our third game. In this stream, we are here with our third match in the BacT versus TaToH series. Want to remind people, this is not a best of 3. All 3 games will be played regardless of score, which means we can see a 3-0 victory in some cases. And each victory, each map point, counts as an overall point for the league. The 2 players with the most points at the end of the league enter into the grand finals, and that's how it all works. So, we're here with our third and final game. It's tied up at 1-1. Over to the west of the map, in the blue, we have TaToH playing as the Italians. And on the southeast, we have in the red BacT playing as the Italians as well. There is a new king in town when it comes to the water maps, it would seem.
Yeah, so it seems. You were absolutely right the other day when you said to the stream, Vikings are no longer in AoEHD in particular are like a top tier water civ. They've just dropped off just because of the new civilizations and the balance changes that come with it. And now, Italians, one of the first thoughts to mind when you think about water now these days, their stats just don't lie when it comes to it. Advance to the next stage costs 15% less. Dock text costs 50% less. That's insane. Fishing ships cost minus 25 wood. That is incredible.
You know, you just said their stats don't lie, and in my head, I just heard Shakira, Shakira.
Shakira.
Oh man,
play that music right now.
No. We're gonna get into cast. So, yeah, the Italians are fantastic, and part of the reason why, in AOC you see Vikings on these water maps, because they were the undisputed king. But now, without the fire galley, which is the new feudal age fire ship, you suddenly are at a big disadvantage because they're just that good. And I think maybe this is a point for the devs to maybe address in the future. Maybe the fire galleys are too good. I mean, I don't know how they want to go with balancing the game. And what's interesting is that we will see more future balance patches to the game as well. And these tournaments actually are providing quite a bit of a basis for those balance changes to come through, which is really, in my opinion, a really nice thing. But let's talk about Team Islands. This is TaToH's home map. This is the map that he's chosen to play. And sorry, get distracted by the chat here, because bend over please is like, careful Zach, you might get a copyright strike because of how likely that the likeness to the real song. We don't want to do a dreams and get DMCA'd over here, so we got to be careful, Mamano. Tone it down.
Okay, I'll put more of a manly voice. So way I can sound like Shakira. Oh, anyway, so the scouts dragging the boar in.
Yeah.
As you said like earlier about the boar doing more damage, BacT's got to be very careful with the next one, because I think he can take max 1 to 2 hits, and then that's it. So wow, it's actually 2 boar to the north. Oh, hello.
I think 2 hits and even his scout will die.
Yeah.
But one of the things I wanted to bring up about Team Islands is that the rush distance is generally very short. More often than not, players will dock on the front, and that tells us a lot about their strategy. Some players will, occasionally dock on the south, but usually in the south, sorry, not the south, like the back of their island, closer to the edge of the map, there's less reliable fish. And so players generally dock to the front. And when both players dock on the front, that means that the feudal age timing is absolutely crucial. Hitting the feudal age first, really, really important. And the Italians are a great civ to do that with as well, due to their age ups costing less. And yeah, I think Italian's just a fantastic civ for this one. And right now, we got BacT bringing in his second boar. We've got TaToH on his second boar already, and
it ran back.
What ran back?
The boar did. Sorry, the boar ran back. I thought you were watching at the same time. No, the boar ran back. So you had to go and get it again. What?
Are you at a different point to me? I think you
What
open. I'm at 6 minutes 30 right now. The boar is safely under the TC.
Oh, okay.
I think when you open the tech tree, the game pauses, and so we go out of sync. So opening the tech tree, come on, Milmano, you're casting a high tier tournament right here. You're expected to know. You're expected to know the tech tree before you go into the game. I mean, come on.
It wasn't the tech tree, Zach. It was me trying to play Shakira.
Oh, right. You tapped out. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
I tapped out. It was hard to find. But what is again interesting when you compare to like AOC standard is the fish layout as well, because you talk about the map itself.
Yeah.
It's a bit more evenly spread out as they changed in advance quite a long way back. So it's not so like, oh, you guys have no exactly way to put your dock, because you find something. You'll get something, that's for sure, and that's what is the case this time around. So, but yeah, they're both on the front, so looking to be aggressive.
Very aggressive. And TaToH's going to have the small edge going up to the feudal age here. He's on 42, 43, 44, 45%, whilst BacT is on 30%. So it's about a 10% difference in upgrade time. What's interesting is that both players have built 4 fishing ships. And we've spoken in the past about how a player might decide to only make 3 fishing ships, and then they can save a little bit of wood so that they can get the third dock up a little faster. If I'm not mistaken, the Italians have cheaper fishing ships, so they can actually afford to do the 4th ship because it only costs 50 wood instead of 75. Therefore, when you've built 3 fishing ships, the 4th one, you can afford it, and it doesn't cost you any more versus a standard civ with a 75 cost fishing ship, building just 3, if that makes any sense. So
that makes sense. So in layman's terms, buy 3, get 1 free. That's what it is.
Exactly. Simple. So both players should be able to afford the 3rd dock pretty quickly, and that is really important, just to get that quick military production going. Now, it seems like both players have gone up quite quickly as well, with fewer villagers than a standard match, perhaps. And as a result, the resources are going to be, pushing it to the limit right here. Fire galleys for both players coming out, though. And is it any surprise? We've already spoke about how the fire galleys have basically been the death of the Vikings. And now both players going to immediately get the fire galleys out. What is their scouting like? Does either player know that they're directly opposite each other? I don't think they do just yet.
No, but look at TaToH's rally point. Like, if you look on the Fog of War, instantly, right slap bang onto BacT's side. That is insane. There we go. Thank you very much.
That is a potentially... Well, that's 2 fishing ships at nearly 0 health. I mean, one's at half health, one's at 10 health. And BacT here with just a couple of galleys coming out, but it's almost too late. That 10% difference in feudal time has already given TaToH a free fishing ship right here. You can't complain at that. And that's the difference that just 10% can make when the docks are this close together. And it seems to me like TaToH is willing to just chase those fishing ships away, deny that feud income of BacT, knowing full well that he was faster to the feudal age. But what's interesting is that there's no third dock from TaToH here. BacT has already got his third dock up, and I'm wondering if that's going to tell us something about TaToH's game plan in this one. BacT is already producing 3 fire galleys at a time. He's got a demolition raft coming out, and TaToH's trying to suicide his units in favor of killing the fishing ships. Plus the fact he's on 2 docks, TaToH's clearly got another plan up his sleeves, I feel.
Yes, so it seems. Oh my god, this is just absolute havoc. So it looks like, oh, come on, one more. Just take it out.
Nearly.
Okay,
he's going to get it.
Oh,
6 health.
Son of a...
He'll get it. He'll get it. There's one could be down. So basically, TaToH's willing to suicide all of his ships here in favor of killing the fish from BacT. And meanwhile, you've got TaToH building a second mill on the deer at the back of his base. And this is not TaToH going for full water. This is TaToH throwing a curveball out here. Maybe he'll build a dock at the back and continue to fish in safety over there. But right now, he's just forfeited the water. He's doing, if you watch the All-Stars qualifications last week, this is something we saw from Slam, actually, sticking on the 2 docks for a while. And TaToH here... Interesting. What's his game plan going to be? I mean, that's the big question now.
Oh, this is tough. Giving up the water just instantaneously, but you did take out all the fish from BacT, so BacT will have to reproduce all the fishing ships to get that income of the fish back in again. So that's one thing to know. Oh, that pops a demo, but
he hits 2. It's worth it. If he hits 2, it's worth it. He might be able to finish these 2 off actually with the other one that comes out.
Next one.
But
ready, sir?
The problem is, I mean, TaToH's not making any more boats right now. He's shifted focus entirely right here. Obviously, adding in that mill, adding in farms. That's certainly not what you do if you're trying to go ham on the boat production. So TaToH, it's so strange to me that he's doing this because he was faster to the feudal age. He could have really abused that and got himself a big advantage, but instead... he's obviously looking for a landing attempt. I mean, that has to be either that or he's going to go for like a faster castle time and retake with fire ships in the castle age. But it seems like he might be making this a little harder for himself than it needs to be.
I do agree. It's a puzzling move. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on though. That dock at the back, there's 3 fish moved over, relocated. Thank you very much. And that should give him some nice safe fish. Yeah, you're probably right. He's probably looking to go up fast and then try and retake the water or go for a landing. But he obviously can't go for a landing now, that's for sure. It's probably him just trying to retake the water later on. But yeah, I'm really trying to rack my brain here because I'm trying to think why you had the earlier up time. You had I would say a good strong start on the water engagement.
Yeah.
Oof. And look at BacT though; he's already got the fishing back out and in stronger numbers too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just
7 of them.
Highlighting that as well. He's already got the fish back up. Now, I mean, I want to bring into attention the actual map right now as well. I mean, we spoke a little bit about the map before. That's funny. BacT just lost his scout cavalry actually to the fire ship out here on the right side, which is actually quite significant because losing the scout means that BacT isn't going to have as much vision. Usually you'd have your scout positioned or patrolling around so that you can spot any landings coming in. But with that now gone, BacT could be susceptible to a landing attempt. But I wanted to bring up the fact that the maps are quite different for both players. TaToH's island is quite thin, whereas BacT's island is a little thicker. And if you look at his gold and his stone and where he can build his farms, it's going to be far enough inland that he can mostly protect it from the shoreline. Now, TaToH's island being very thin, I mean, he could potentially have exposed resources. Fortunately, it's not so bad. His gold is quite safe in the center there, but it was always something to consider when you are looking at the map, that a bad map shape, just the shape of your land, can cause you some problems as well.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Most of the extra goals that he does have is at that point when he goes to it will be in range of any potential galleons or whatever it will be. So
yeah.
That's a real concern. But look at this from TaToH, just coming in, sneaking in, trying to take another couple of fishy ships, trying to slow him down as much as possible. He will get 2. Can he get a 3rd?
He might get. Oh, he's not attacking it. He's attacking the.
Oh, no, he is now.
Is he gonna get it? He's got 3 ships for free. That is not bad at all. And TaToH's now up to the castle age as well. He's adding in a 3rd dock on the front. Obviously, he's got his 4th dock on the back as well. And so TaToH right now is starting to reboot his boat building campaign, and got some demolition rafts coming out. So once he hits castle, what are we expecting to see? I mean, I'm expecting him to try and retake the water at this stage of the game. Generally speaking, the later the game goes, the more valuable the water is in terms of what you can achieve from it, as the range increases, as the boats get stronger. But yeah, I mean, he's getting his docks taken out by the demolition ships at this point.
Hey, it did some pretty good damage. Well, he obviously knows. He knows that TaToH's up, probably from the score drop, and also the fact that you can see there's things being queued inside. You don't just suddenly decide to put a 3rd dock down, and of course, out comes a couple of demolition rafts. So, BacT is really trying to focus it down. I also imagine he's going to try and kickstart some production back up on his docks again, because he's probably realized that he'll be in trouble soon if he doesn't do something about it.
Yeah, what's interesting actually is BacT has relocated his fish to this sort of south area here, which is pretty neat, keeping them out of harm's way. And also, he's scouted the docks coming up, and he's also up to the castle age himself. So BacT, with a much greater number of galleys on the fire galleys on the map, he's taken the dock down. Oh no, he's not. Sorry, the dock is still there. But you can see that TaToH's now upgrading the war galley tech. He's going to try and retake the water here. He's actually making a lot of demolitions though, and these are going to be demolition ships in just a moment. I don't think TaToH can bring this back with just demos, but he can certainly try and clear out a lot of these fire galleys. I've got to say though, BacT's spacing on these fire galleys is pretty neat. He's got them very well spaced apart, so those demolition rafts, in theory, will do less damage. Taking down 4 ships so far, not a bad start. And now we've got fire ships coming out. Let's see what happens next. We're going to go blue coffee on this. As TaToH chases them away. But that's enough to disrupt BacT for the time being, and he follows it through with some fire ships now of his own. Still though, I mean, TaToH, did it need to come to this? Could he have just held the water from the feudal age? I don't know. But what matters now is that he is retaken the score lead, and he's even got a fire ship at the dock where the fishing ships are for BacT as well. So doing a bit of extra damage down there.
Yeah, the game is on. The game is on. He's back on. Yeah, fire ships are coming out. You've got the war galley tech upgraded. He's probably going to, I imagine, get a couple more fire ships before looking to get into those war galleys, because he hasn't got enough security just yet, and there is still a good presence from BacT. So it's really interesting. It's whole, as you said from the beginning of the stream, how the meta has changed significantly. You never used to see so many fire ships. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I mean they are nice, but I mean, I think at a certain point it does make sense to make war galleys as well. And in fact, I think that point. Oh,
has it arrived?
Hold on a second. I'm just really confused what just happened there. I pressed I've never done that before. I pressed some kind of keyboard shortcut and everything just disappeared. So sorry if there was a blip on the stream, but it's all come back now. So apologies. BacT is starting the war galleys. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I was supposed to say that I just saw them coming out from BacT. He's still got some really good control on this water though.
Oh,
TaToH, I think TaToH was probably more banking on the fact that he can get up a lot earlier, but I think he underestimated the production of which, those fishing ships costing so much less wood, like we saw earlier on, he's able to replenish that really easily. And then that food income was just back in, baby. And there we go. He was up at a very similar time.
Yeah,
Still good
yeah.
control. So
Absolutely.
it's a real problem for TaToH because he hasn't got a single foot grasp just yet. He's got 3 TCs though. I will add that. So
Yeah,
there is something for him.
This is never a position you would deliberately want to put yourself in, though. On a water map, losing control of the water is generally your downfall, and already BacT has taken out the other 2 docks on the front, or 3 docks even. He's going to take out the 4th on the front as well here. And sure, I mean, TaToH did take down the fishing ships again from BacT, but I don't think you should underestimate just how good that 25% less wood on each fishing ship is. Oh, more demolition ships coming out from TaToH though.
Oh.
And not too bad. You'll get a bunch of fires, but again, it's not enough. And I just feel like, demolition ships, okay, they're great, they're nice explosions and all that, but ultimately, they don't give you any lasting presence on the water, and that's what TaToH needs at the moment. He needs some kind of lasting presence on the water.
Yeah, he's got a couple of those fires just still hanging around. Is he trying and find some fishing ships? I have no idea what these are really doing. He's doing something though. BacT is so confident though. He's like, I'm gonna pump more fishing ships out. Screw farmers. Let's just get fishing ships out.
Yeah, man.
He's absolutely entitled to. He's got such good control in the water. And I'm getting concerned here though. Like you said earlier about the map for TaToH. He's gonna get some casts though, I imagine, later on, because A is going to stone, B has to if he wants to get back on the water, and to cover the resources that he needs to do, because that main gold won't last forever, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now as well, with BacT having such control of the water, he can deny any docks as well from TaToH here. So TaToH's like, thinking, okay, maybe I can get a dock up at the back. Maybe I can get a couple of docks up. But BacT's just going to surround his island eventually. And meanwhile, BacT fishing away like crazy down in the south of the map. And I mean, why wouldn't he? This is just an amazing sea down here. The way his island tapers off and he gets all these extra fish, I mean, you've got to abuse that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But look at this from TaToH though. He snuck some fire ships all the way round, it seems. Five are coming in.
No way.
Damage. There they are. There's those beauties. Can they do damage? Oh.
That's pretty funny because BacT has got so much water control, yet these 3 fires are still doing damage. And in fact, there's 5 even. Sorry, as you say. And yeah, it's just that shouldn't happen. That really shouldn't happen. At the back of the map, TaToH's kickstarted his fire ship production again, and I think TaToH's really just hoping now that he can get to the Imperial Age faster and try again. I mean, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And he tried when he got to the Castle Age, he failed. He's going to try when he gets to the Imperial Age, and we'll see what he can do. But, these war galleys now can deny farmers, as you can see here. There is a dead body on this farm. They can start to harass TaToH's eco. And, yeah, I mean, I just feel like TaToH's definitely put himself in a difficult position, to say the least. He will be clicking up to Imp fairly soon, though. And right now, just waiting on the gold and the food, but he's nearly there.
Yeah, he's actually not that terrible of a position as I probably have been expressing a lot, but because there's a couple of reasons why. I mean, one is I've got farmers, and they're actually a lot safer than at the moment these fishing ships are, because TaToH's doing a really good job at just harassing the crap out of these fishing ships for a start. There's also the other factor as well that BacT hasn't really diverse his economy on the food front. Yes, he's got lots of fishing ships, but he's only got a few farmers, and he's lost, I'd say, quite a few of these fishing ships, and they will be starting to become a bit inefficient unless he starts making more docks that are closer to the fish, especially the ones that aren't being used because so it's smart play from TaToH, because if he can keep this up, he can probably make his way back on the water again. But this is quite a big if, though, because he's got a lot of work to do, but he is making the right steps, though. That's what I will say.
Yeah, I think the fact that he killed quite a lot of fish is quite pivotal, actually. And TaToH here, there are still a lot of fish up for BacT, and BacT has got great docks in the south, but he's not been using them because those fires have been doing damage. But yeah, TaToH's basically now, again, about 10% faster to the Imperial Age than BacT. BacT is on 35%, TaToH's on 50%, so it's a little more than that, but still, it's not a huge difference again in timing. And once again, TaToH, once he gets to the Imperial Age, he's going to try and retake the water. And if BacT denies him again for the third time, then BacT is basically, it's his game to lose at that point. I feel like BacT is in such a good position right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still in a very strong position. I was actually surprised he's actually not that far behind in the Imperial. I wonder if did he buy up a little bit? I saw the market prices.
Well, bear in
87.
mind it's cheaper for the Italians to click up.
That's very true.
And you had all the fish as well. I mean, BacT is sitting on a lot of fish at the moment. Right now as well. I mean, I'm surprised he's not kind of going around the back a lot more. He is actually sending a group of 4 boats around the back, and he'll be able to see that, okay, TaToH's got 4 docks back here. At the front side, he's got 3 docks up, and BacT's going to spot those out as well. But yeah, right now, BacT going to be a few seconds behind TaToH. TaToH's imp now, though, and we should see fast fires coming through. That's on the way up at 20% right now. And this is now TaToH's window of opportunity to start taking it back. We'll see what he can do. Let's see what he can do.
Oh, it's still looking so awkward, though. I can't see how this is going to work, because he's only got 3 on the front, and the ones at the back, it's a bit awkward because you've got to get them all together, if you ask me. But for this to work for TaToH, it's okay if you're BacT, because you've got full control, but...
well, I think the big difference here is that BacT is doing Galleon whilst TaToH's doing fast fires.
Yes, that is very significant. But the thing is that BacT's already got a lot of war guys already going. Yeah. So you can get that mass up, and you should be able to deal with this, because the fast fires are coming in like 2s and 3s, not like in a big 4, like a big like 20 or so. So you can deal with these relatively okay, but unless he's not waking up, which is the case. Okay, well. Well, okay.
Well,
that was not expected.
TaToH with the fast fires here could be pivotal, because BacT is kind of stubbornly going for galleons, I feel. Don't underestimate the strength of the fast fires, I'll say that much. And although Galleon is done and Bracer is done, he's not got that many galleons, and I still feel like fast fires could be reasonable for BacT here as well. I mean, he could consider going for fires and galleons, which I would assume would be the better combination. But yeah, right now, with Galleon done, and with the small number of fires that TaToH has, he should be able to pick off the stragglers and then try and group up his army to go for a big attack onto the main army of TaToH. But TaToH's taken the score lead, and TaToH is well back into this one thanks to the fast fire ships coming out.
Yeah, I really underestimate how good they are. I was watching a fight down the south, I don't know if you were. There's like 2 fast fire ships. There's a whole clump of these galleons. It just took out most of them, and only 1 went down. And then another one came to support the one that was lost. And then, oh my goodness, they are strong. Like 9+1 on the Pierce armor. Like, it did nothing, no damage at all. Yeah, BacT's really got to respond to this. He's got to get something out of his own. I am seeing some fire ships though, so hopefully. He's getting careening.
He's realized. He's got fast fires queued up. He's got some demolition ships queued up as well. I mean, I feel like he's just throwing the galleons away right now, which is a big problem. And he still needs that fast fire ship upgrade as well. Dry dock's coming in right now as well. But still, where's that fast fire ship upgrade? It's not there.
It's not there. It's not there. I do see dry dock though. That's something.
It's something, but it's not fast fire.
But not what we're looking for.
It's not fast fire, and I'm really wondering, like, is TaToH just going to overwhelm him with fast fires? Is that just going to be allowed to happen? At the moment, it looks like it may be, because TaToH is a good 1k score ahead at this stage, and his retake of the water looks pretty convincing, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's looking really solid, and that main gold pile of BacT has just gone up, and look how many people he's got on gold now. He hasn't Okay, now he's transitioning, I think. Nope, there's just lumberjacks. I thought they were transitioning. Yeah, look at the amount of people he's got on gold. He's got like 5-6 villagers. That's no way that's sustainable.
Oh, he's got 7 villas on gold, actually. Yeah. That's a big problem.
The main gold ran out, and he was like, I'm going to put them straight in the lumber camp to get some more wood in. But that's not going to work out too well unless he's going to make a quick shift onto gold very soon.
Yeah, and Woolaloo in the chat reminding us of the curse of BacT. I don't think BacT has actually ever won a game that has lasted longer than 40 minutes in any of our tournaments so far. Just a fun factlet for you guys. But yeah, I mean, where is the fast fire upgrade? I mean, I just feel like if he'd have gone fast fires... Oh, there it is. There it is.
There it is.
But I still feel like if he'd have gone fast fires instead of galleons, it could have been a different story by now. And BacT's still trying to scramble to get some defenses here. And all is certainly not lost. But, you know, you've got to question that decision-making to go galleon here.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. And this is definitely cost. I mean, you can clearly see definitely cost him. I'm just getting really concerned of the lack of this goal situation. I'm just keep looking at him and come on. He's going to stone now, so I think he's probably thinking, well, okay, I've lost the water now. I need to get a castle up or some structure to get myself back on it. But, what are you going to do, huh?
It's looking rough, actually. I think what BacT is trying to do is mass up a group of galleons and fires, and I still think that is the best thing to do. I still think it's better to get galleons to go behind the fires. It will increase your damage output, and then get a mass of units where he can just, you know, start turning it around and start pushing together with. But he's losing docks out on the front, and it doesn't look to me like BacT is replacing his docks. It also looks like his production is slowed right down as well. There we go. He's queued him out again now. But I think, let's see, 28 ships on the water for BacT right now, 38 for TaToH. TaToH's got a lot more docks up and running, and his economy looks a little more balanced as well. He's got a little bit more gold in the bank, and as you said before, it's a concern that BacT didn't have the gold miners. He's now got 17, so it looks like he's... Oh no, a lot of those are actually...
Landing!
Stone miners. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't mean to take over there, but landing from TaToH right at the back of the island. Outpost up. Barracks coming up. Is it Condottiero? Oh, it's Condottiero. Oh, yes.
Gotta love it.
Here we go. Gotta love it.
Well, tell me Condo. Let's go. As TaToH here, yeah, the Condottiero is really good actually, because it doesn't require any upgrades. You know, like if you wanted to go champions, you'd have to upgrade them all the way from militia. Condos, you know, you just get them out, get them straight out, and all he needs is the blacksmith tech. So, you know, he can go straight ahead with that. Meanwhile, at his own base, he's actually built castles on the north and south, and it's going to be really difficult for BacT to pull off a landing in this game anyway. Now it's BacT that's being landed, with the Condottiero being grouped up at the back. Very nice. And TaToH emotes coming up in the chat as well, because TaToH actually has a Condottiero emote because of how, I imagine, how good these guys are. They are fully upgraded with defense, and they're going in.
They're going in.
They're going in.
Now, 5 piece armor, looking pretty nice. Yeah. I mean, they're going to do some good raiding here, and there's no way BacT is expecting this until now.
Oh, absolutely not.
He's got to think quick, because otherwise he's going to lose this game. Because right now, here's those villagers coming forward from TaToH. Is he planning a cut?
Oh, wow. That is a ballsy castle. Oh, wow. BacT's just going to call GG right there.
Yeah, so ballsy.
Oh, goodness me. Would you believe that? That is surprising. Well, okay, maybe it's not that surprising, because he really had nothing to deal with the Condottiero. But he actually didn't even have enough for a castle of his own, let alone somewhere to place it. But, man, I mean, those Condottiero, great unit to use.
Great. What a turnaround, though, from TaToH. It was looking rough all game, but yeah, big mistake from BacT in the water. And then, of course, that landing from TaToH just sealed it. I didn't even think that castle was actually legitimately possible, but...
I know, it's like floating there. What is that?
There's like one peg just in the rock that, like, you know...
Yeah. Why not?
Italian, sir. Italian.
Ultimate fortifications.
Building rigs.
That's a really good win for TaToH, though, and it's amazing, really, what just 4 barracks can do. Especially as the Italians. Like I say, there's Condottiero. You don't need upgrades to get them out. They're there. You just need the defense, and that's it. From the barracks, blacksmith, no biggie. On the water, it looked like BacT was going to take advantage, actually, which makes sense, given that TaToH was diverting resources into this aggression. But that aggression was enough to seal the deal. And as I said about the Condottiero as well, they're really quick, because they're designed to deal with gunpowder units. So they just run in really quickly, 10 damage, which is enough to kill a villager in 5 strikes. And, causing BacT to go idle, causing him to call GG, and there you have it. 2-1 to TaToH.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Great series to kick off this 7 weeks. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, look at those stats. Oof.
Yeah, let's
get
do
me
it.
going.
Let's have a look at the stats. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is quite a KD for TaToH there.
Yeah.
Quite unexpected, actually, in his favor.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was just towards the end when those fast fire ships just did so much damage at the end of, well, obviously, because the Conti Terror didn't really kill anything, of course.
Yeah,
but if you looked at it about the halfway point, it would probably definitely been in BacT's favor. So just interesting to see. 11 buildings raised by TaToH. Where did he raise the buildings?
Docks, I'm
what
guessing.
Buildings did he raise?
Docks and a couple of houses, I think.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, TaToH here, I think that TaToH's power, KD, actually came from all of the fishing ships that he killed. He killed a lot of fishing ships, and BacT spent a lot of time replenishing them. And if you actually look at the amount of food collected, TaToH had 3k extra food that game, and it's almost not surprising, given how he was farming heavily, uncontested, whilst BacT constantly had the threat of fire ships killing his fish. So nice game from TaToH there, and a very enjoyable series to kick things off. I can only hope that the rest of the games today are as good as that. Our next set coming up right here, we're going to have